Hello and welcome to the program. I am Adeshawa Josh. It's time to take you through major headlines around the world. And of course, we'll start with the missing MH370 flight. Well, as the world seeks to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of Malaysian flight MH370, Australia says the search for the plane is the most challenging ever seen. Air Chief Marshal Angus Houston also says the search for the plane could take weeks. The plane disappeared on March the 8th as it was traveling from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. It was carrying 239 people. Search teams are in the meantime scouring the southern Indian Ocean for signs of the plane.
Search coordinators have warned that the hunt for the missing Malaysian jetliner with 239 people aboard could drag on for some time yet.
Currently, we believe we're looking in the place that gives us the best probability of success. As that information is refined, we may move that effort. But currently, that's where we are. We have by no means exhausted that search area yet, and we will continue to make every effort we can to give the people who are flying the best probability we can.
The Boeing 777 disappeared from civilian radar in the early hours of March 8th as it flew from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Minutes later, its communications were cut off and it turned back across Malaysia and headed towards the Indian Ocean. Malaysia says the plane was likely diverted deliberately, probably by a skilled aviator, leading to speculation of involvement by one or more of the pilots. Investigators, however, have determined no apparent move or other red flags among the 227 passengers or the 12 crew members. Meanwhile, the head of the global trade body for airline operators has called for trackers to be fitted on the aircraft to prevent planes from going missing like flight MH370.
We must ensure that this can't happen again.
Tony Tyler, Director and CEO of the International Air Transport Association, IATA, said this should be a top priority for the airline industry.
We must ensure that this can't happen again by making sure that aircraft can be tracked in real time, so that this cannot happen again. That seems to me to be should be the priority objective.
The IATA represents some 240 airlines, which are responsible for 84% of total air traffic globally. Amidst all this, Chinese and U.S. military aircraft departed from Perth Airport on Tuesday to hunt for the missing Malaysia flight. China's Ilyushin IL-76 and U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon joined 8 other aircraft and 9 ships as they secured a large area in the Indian Ocean, some 2,000 kilometers west of Perth, where investigators believe the Boeing 777 came down. Dozens of items have been spotted since Australian authorities moved the search 1,100 kilometers north after new analysis of radar and satellite data, but none has been linked to the Malaysian flight.
Now, our colleague from the Voice of America joins us now via Skype. That's Caroline Presidency, to talk more about the situation with the MH370. You're welcome on the program, Caroline, if you can hear me.
Thanks, Adesha, I can hear you. Thanks, Adesha.
Now, let me quickly ask you, you have been in touch with the crew searching for the missing MH370. You've been talking to some of them, and what are they telling you?
I have. I specifically spoke on the phone this morning to the commander aboard the USS Blue Ridge. Now, the USS Blue Ridge is in control of the entire U.S. 7th Fleet. That would include 40,000 sailors, 140 aircraft, 80 ships and submarines, of course, not all of them tasked with finding the Malaysian plane. But he told me about the 2 P-8 Poseidon planes. Those are patrol planes that are over the area. He said this new search area is very different than the old search area. One, it has better weather, which is always good, meaning that their planes used to have to travel 3.5 to 4 hours in travel time just to get to the area. Now they just have a 2-hour span of travel time, which leaves them more time to search the area. He said also it's just a better conditions in the ocean there. You'll remember that old search area was known as the Roaring 40s because they talked about the terrible currents in that area of the ocean. He said the ocean is much calmer where the new search area is. So those are two good things going forward as these planes and the other ships continue to search for Malaysian Airline 370.
Now, this is good news so far, so good. But the air marshal in charge of this search, that's the coordinator, said that it's been the most challenging ever. What are the new challenges they're facing now in the search?
Absolutely. I think it was really indicative what was at the end of your report when you mentioned that there has been no conclusive debris. That's what everyone needs for this search to go forward. When I spoke to the commander, I said, what can be what we call the game changer? What can turn this search around? And he said, we need to find conclusive evidence that the debris is indeed from the plane. It is only then that the Pinger locator can be deployed and the autonomous underwater vehicle can be deployed off an Australian ship. Now, the Pinger locator would be the one to locate the black boxes. And the other vehicle has sonar. It has side sonar so that it can search the debris area on the bottom of the ocean. But without conclusive evidence that this debris on the surface of the ocean is indeed from this plane, they can do nothing but wait. So
okay, now,
he tells me it could
we're not going to wait
months.
forever, right? How long is this search going to take? Do you have any idea?
Well, they aren't willing to give up yet, certainly, because remember, the batteries on the black boxes will last 30 days and sometimes longer than 30 days. Now, that 30-day window is up in about a week. But I've talked to people who know of black boxes lasting 53 days. So I doubt if this search is going to end anytime before then. But even beyond them, there is still hope. When we talk to people, they say we still have optimism because this is what we're trained to do. We are trained to locate very small things in the ocean, and we're not giving up yet. But on the other hand, they say this isn't just going to take days. It could take weeks, months, even years.
Well, thank you so much, Caroline. We will continue to monitor the progress in the search, and then, of course, we'll keep everyone else updated. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Now we're moving to other stories now. Nigeria has assumed the presidency of the United Nations Security Council. The one-month rotational presidency of the Council will be led by Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Professor Joy Ogu, starting from today, April the 1st. Nigeria was elected a non-permanent member of the Security Council on October the 17th, 2013, and will serve on the Council for the period 2014 to 2015. This is the 5th time since independence that Nigeria has been elected to serve on the most powerful decision-making organ of the United Nations. There is no sign of Russian troop pullout from the border with Ukraine. That's according to NATO's military chief, Anders Rasmussen, who again stressed that the best way to solve the crisis is through a political dialogue. NATO foreign ministers are meeting in Brussels to discuss ways to help Ukraine and reassure allies in Eastern Europe. This comes after Russia's takeover of Ukraine's Crimea region last month, and it is the first time ministers from the 28 member states of the alliance have convened since the annexation of Crimea. NATO has also boasted air drills to be held over the Baltic states.
Unfortunately, I cannot confirm that Russia is withdrawing its troops. This is not what we are seeing. And this massive military buildup can in no way contribute to a de-escalation of the situation. We will take decisions on which cooperation with Russia is still appropriate, because through its actions, Russia has undermined the principles on which our partnership is built and has breached its own international commitments. So we cannot go on doing business as usual.